Hi there, my name's Caitlin. I'm a holistic nutrition consultant. I'm the author of a blog called grassfedgirl.com. I've been healing my Hashimoto's for over 10 years with an ancestral diet, most recently the Carnivore Diet for the past 4 years, and have had wonderful results. I put my antibodies into remission, so that's what I want to share about on my channel. If that sounds good to you, stay tuned. Today's video is all about if you should be adding fruit to your carnivore diet and what happened when I added fruit to my carnivore diet on a recent vacation. If you like my content, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It helps me to get to know you and helps out the channel so more people know that a meat-based diet can be healing. For the past 3 weeks, we were in Algeria. My husband is from North Africa. It's a country called Algeria. It's one of the largest countries in Africa. It's on the Mediterranean Sea. He lives in Algiers. That's where he's from. And it's a beautiful, beautiful city. But it's very different from America. So it's more like the Middle East than Africa that you may have seen in movies and stuff. So just picture that. But they do have a great food culture. It's very rich in history with food. So imagine more kind of like Moroccan food, tagines, that kind of stuff. If you're familiar with that, that is what they eat. A lot of French bread because they were a French territory for a long, long time, a French colony. The French left in 1962. So there's a lot of history with the French. And so it's kind of like this rich food culture of French and North African food, and it's really cool. But it's very meat-based, so it's really helpful for that. It's really easy to find meat, and there's butchers everywhere. Everything's super fresh. Everyone shops every day for what they want. Hardly anything is frozen. It's very like you go out, shop that morning, and then you cook that, and then you go and do it again the next day. You don't store a lot of food at home. The refrigerators are really small. And my husband's family is super supportive. Whatever I needed, they were getting it for me. My husband would go shopping for me. We actually had 2 big sheep festivals. We had a sheep festival, and that has a lot of history behind it. And then that's where they kill a sheep and sacrifice it. So, then you eat it. And then we had another big party for my baby. So we had a lot of meat around. It was great. So I had plenty of meat, but there was a lot of seasonal fruit, and we don't have a lot of seasonal fruit here. I mean, we do, but it's all from California and it's not local, but there they have a lot of seasonal fruit and it's local every single morning. And they have these figs, and figs are like my favorite food, and we don't have figs here. And one part is I started getting kind of sick, and so my resistance was down and my resolve was down, and my baby got really sick, and we kind of just had a really bad cold. And so I just kind of got beat down, and I couldn't say no to these figs, and I just ate figs every single day, and I just loved them so much. And I was just wondering, how did this affect me? How much did I feel any difference in my digestion or any aches and pains? There's so many things that fruit is so good for you. And, you see Paul Saladino every single day saying fruit, 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 fruit. But the problem is that somebody like me who has more like insulin resistance is a little on the chubby side. I need to lose about a little bit more of my baby weight. If I lose 10, 20 pounds, it'd be great. But I haven't really gotten there yet. I'm still breastfeeding. So it's probably not a good idea for me to eat a lot of fruit, but I just didn't care because I was just overseas and I wanted to experience everything, and I ate the fruit. So I wanted to talk about how that affected me and if you should be adding fruit to your carnivore diet. So the first thing I noticed was that my right foot swelled up a lot when I was eating fruit. Really weird. So I was wearing these flip-flops and my right foot got really swollen, but my left foot didn't. So that was weird. And I thought maybe it's just the plane, but then it kept doing it after that. So I got more stomach, like my stomach started poking out more than normal. So it was kind of weird. I could tell I was gaining weight, but it wasn't as bad. I'm very sensitive to dairy. So if I eat dairy, I think in the past I've eaten fruit and dairy together. So I couldn't really tell the difference. This time I really didn't eat dairy. at all. And so I was just eating the fruit because I wanted to see what would happen if I just had the fruit. And I was gaining weight, but it wasn't near the amount of weight that I gain if I eat dairy. So that was something. Then I started getting a little bit of calf muscles tension and some cramping. So that was weird. And then I also get canker sores, like little tiny sores on my tongue when I eat a lot of fruit. And that happened when I was pregnant also. So I really haven't eaten a lot of fruit since I was pregnant because, again, I was having such a hard time with stress and everything. And, fruit seems to be the least, as far as reactivity for me, if I want to eat something. So if I do want a treat or something, fruit seems to be the best thing for me to eat, and not going for all the sweet, really sweet things or cakes or gluten and dairy and all that stuff. So fruit seems to be a more benign than other things I might add to my carnivore diet. But do I think I would gain weight over time? Yes. And did I gain weight? Yes. But then on the way home, I fasted a little bit. I missed a couple of meals because I was on the airplane. So I think I lost all the weight that I gained. So pretty good. I'm a little down a pound or two before I left. So that's cool. I don't think I really gained weight, so that's cool. The figs affected my digestion. I was going to the bathroom more. I still have some challenges with going to the bathroom. Constipation is a big symptom of Hashimoto's thyroid disease. And I got better for a while, but then when I got pregnant and I think my hormones kind of flip-flopped and I started experiencing more of the constipation again. And so that's been a challenge since I've gotten pregnant and had a baby and everything. So I'm hoping that turns around when I stop breastfeeding, hopefully around age 2. So we're almost there. I think you should add fruit to your carnivore diet. I think it depends. If you look at somebody like Paul Saladino, he's very fit. He works out every day. He said he couldn't keep his electrolytes in check without eating fruit or honey. And honey is a whole nother topic, but I definitely don't think anybody needs honey. Now, if you are looking to, the problem is though, I feel like if you eat fruit, you're not going to be fat adapted. You're not going to be tapping into your fat stores because your body's always going to preferentially burn that fuel first, those easy, quick carbs, and it's not going to burn off excess body fat. But if you're really young and you're exercising and you don't have a lot of metabolic health problems, and I don't even know why you'd be doing a carnivore diet, maybe for digestive issues, fruit's probably not going to hurt your digestive issues unless you have maybe SIBO. Then you might get a lot of bloating and gas in the upper intestine, the small intestine. So, you just have to test it out for yourself. And one issue for me is the addictive nature of fruit and sugar. So when I start eating fruit, I cannot stop until it runs out, or I just run out of money, or it goes bad or something. But if it's there and it's ripe and it's good, I'm going to finish it off and I'm going to be looking for more. So if I finish off one type of fruit, I might switch to another type. So it's really free for all when I have fruit. So it's hard for me to stop, especially summer fruit that's ripe and everything. So if you can't stop, that might be a sign that you shouldn't eat fruit. Another thing we think about a lot is anti-nutrients. Fruit is pretty low in anti-nutrients. Avocado, coconut even, cucumbers, these are all fruits, olives. So I think you should stick with those things if you are going to do that, because it's not going to block minerals, vitamins from being absorbed, whereas green vegetables have a lot of phytates, lectins, oxalates. So I think fruit is a much safer choice, especially if you have digestive issues or if you're trying to restore maybe your bone density, things like that. Also, I think there's an emotional component. If you are eating, for me, I was very stressed out being with my husband's family a lot. There's a language barrier. So I love them. They're very warm people, but it's just really hard to communicate, and it's hard for me to get out and do what I want to do because there's nobody who speaks English around. So it's hard for me to go out on my own and get things and all that kind of stuff. So I got really stressed out, and I think there's an emotional component of food and of course of fruit and sugar and things. So, when you're really stressed out, sometimes it can be a comfort, and sometimes that's what you need. I mean, life is hard and life is stressful, and sometimes you just want to bury your sorrows in a big bowl of fruit or ice cream or whatever, you know? So don't beat yourself up. There's a time and a place for it every so often. And, you know, this was a time for me, and I was super stressed. And then of course I said I was starting to get sick. My baby was really sick. We ended up having to take him to the doctor. He's all better now, but you know, that's really hard for a mom. And there was sleeping challenges with the time change, the 6-hour time change. So just all these things kind of compounded on me. And I was like, you know what? The least worst choice I can make right now is some fruit. Whereas everyone else was eating cake and bread and cookies. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to have the fruit, and that'll be my thing. And everyone else can just eat their thing, and I'll feel okay because I'll be having my fruit. So I think it was the least worst choice in this situation. And I felt fine about it. And, you know, back here at home, we really don't have figs. We don't have a lot of the good looking fruit that they have there. So I think I'll be fine. I'm back on my straight and narrow, getting back in the swing of things. And like I said, I didn't gain any weight over the time. So it's all good. And my digestion did improve for a while. I was going to the bathroom more often, but you know, I wish I could do that without gaining weight. So someday maybe I'll find the magic formula. If you have any tips or tricks that you've tried, if you think you should add fruit to the carnivore diet, what do you think? And it also helps with electrolyte balance. You don't have to worry so much about your electrolytes, because when you're eating carbs, you don't release as many minerals like potassium and sodium and all those things. You don't have to have those in excess like you do when you have zero carbs. So some people might find that helpful. But for me, I'd rather drink my electrolytes in my Redmond. I'll put a picture right here. That is my favorite electrolytes. And then I don't really have to have the fruit. So I'm glad to be back home, back on the straight and narrow. I love the carnivore diet. I feel good on it. It's my go-to for everyday life. And then every once in a while, you know, a special occasion, a vacation like this, I might eat some fruit or some special treat, but I hope to let you guys know about it, and that you will be supportive of me sharing my journey. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.